Kia ora, g'day, and welcome to yet another assembly video for 3'6" models. This is the NZR NC class four-wheeler. It's a flat wagon. As usual, I'll show you where all the parts go. As you can see there, the two ends. This print isn't brilliant. As you can see, the ends aren't exactly straight, but funnily enough, that is prototypical, of course, because these things got a bit banged up over the years. These are the stanchions, they go on the side. I'll show you how to cut those off their sprue there, but it's basically, it's a case of carefully taking those off. Use a special technique for putting them on, which I'll show you in a minute. Small block of wood and a clamp, and we'll just clamp those onto the wagon. First, let's put on the couplers. So, standard KD coupler, put it there over the little circular piece that the coupler unit itself fits on, and you get the cover, that's the flat bit there. Stick that over the top and then just move it in place slightly with the needle nose pliers so that it's all ready to go. And then you get your screw, just gently push it in, mind my hand, gently push it into the coupler hole that holds it all in place, and then we just screw it in carefully. One thing to note is, if you make it a bit too tight, it doesn't move as much backwards and forwards as it should. So I strongly suggest making sure that you adjust those so that they're at the right tightness, because you don't want the coupler to be too stiff and not go backwards and forwards, because then the wagon will derail or pull other wagons off the track, and no one wants that to happen. So that's one done. We'll do the other one. Stick that on there. Use the old pliers to hold it in place. Get the cover. Put the cover over the top. That's it. Stick that in place. I'll get there eventually, and then we will stick the screw in. That's it. And just the same process again as the first one. Just tighten that up, hold it all in place with those two screws, and so there you have it. The couplers are now installed. Next is the wagon's wheels. So we just very carefully push those into the axle boxes, very carefully, one side, and then give it a spin to make sure that it's spinning around nicely. The sizing is just right so that you just get that nice spin. As you can see there on the camera, the wheels turn freely in the axle boxes. So if you look at this wagon on the side, you can see, oops, I broke the brake ratchet, brake thing. Oops, but it looks pretty good anyway from the side. That's the main thing. Potentially you could use with a bit of sanding at the top. Passes the old backwards and forwards test. So that's the main part of the wagon. So the next thing is to get your small block of wood. So hold it up right against the edge, because that's where we're going to put the stanchions. Then we get the plastic clamp. Just make sure that it's adjusted correctly. Bit of fiddling around. Careful not to break the wagon, of course. And then just gently push that together to hold that block of wood in place. And there's a little locking mechanism on these things. These clamps are available at model shops, and I'm pretty sure online. If you look around for them, they're really useful. Of course, putting the block of wood on, you can actually see the wagon's not exactly flat, but there will be better prints obviously available. So the next thing is to cut the stanchions off their sprue. So you just use your cutting tool. As you can see there, I've got my standard clippers that I use for 3D prints. So just cut them off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on each side, and I just leave them there. But you need to get your file out to file down the edges to hold them in place. But I'll show you how to do that in a moment. I'll just go through and cut all these off, and they will all come off the sprue, and they're all there, as you can see, just out of shot. And then we're going to go and get a file and just file down those edges so that they're nice and flat, so that it all fits in place. So we will put the stanchions on the side. Yep, file down the side of the stanchion that faces towards the wagon. I'll use my pliers just to place those for now. Make sure that they're straight. Again, on the prototype they weren't exactly straight and they got banged around and broken and snapped and all of that fun stuff. So I'm using Tamiya quick set cement. It comes with a really good little, I'll just fix my brake ratchet there. Comes with a good little bottle that has a little brush on the end, which is really useful for applying the glue. And that's it. Stick that first one on, and then we'll go into ludicrous speed of putting those on super fast, and eventually we'll get that whole side done. The other side we repeat the process obviously by the other way around. So use your small block of wood, put it upright, and then put the stanchions against that so they're nice and flat and straight. And that's pretty much it. It's not a difficult wagon to make. There's a couple of other detail parts that come, the change and the brake hose, but I don't need to show you putting those on. As you can see in the pretty pictures, they're relatively easy to do.